Hey guys, Bobo the Vulture's here, and it's time for more Let's Play Extreme Warfare Revenge. Woo! Let me take a look at my sponsors real quick, because of course, let's see, 2 more months. I believe Diamond Dave's was the one that's getting ready to expire, but has not yet. So there you go. I just want to make sure, because at the end of this, the end of the next card that I book, it's going to be a new month. Ta-da-da! So we will have to think about new sponsors and such, and other things that you can only do at the beginning of the training camp. Oh yeah, I need to look at the money. I might be able to upgrade the facilities even. Oh, if I wanted them to be superb, I would need $4 million. I don't have $4 million. I got $1 million. I got $1 million. How much would opening a territory cost me? Cost me $500,000 in admin costs. So I might open a development territory in another turn or two, just for fun. Also, as a place to send people when I don't have anything else to do with them, or like if I had a development territory right now, that is probably where I would send Majik. See if I could get him to hone up his skills any, or a guy like Stryker, who I know had greater potential than this, but then he had an injury that sort of sidelined him. Maybe. I don't think this is actually how it works. I think the only things that they can really work on are like charisma and like attitude. There are like a couple of characteristics that don't even show up here. There's like an attitude characteristic that like affects how things will, alter their morale. Um, Basically a measure of how pissy they end up getting about things. Also, there's a measure of stiffness somewhere in here, and basically you can get guys to work a little stiffer or work a little less. Basically, get them to like the sort of happy medium of where guys are supposed to be. Like if a guy gets criticized for working too stiff and you put him in development camp, it is possible that you can get him to work less stiff. By the way, when I say work stiff, I mean that basically, if you're a wrestler, you're supposed to be hitting people hard enough for it to be convincing, but not so hard as to seriously injure the people. And if you're working stiff, you are working too hard, you're hitting people too hard, and you're coming closer to injuring them than you should. That is what that means. Anyways, let's proceed on to the next day, because we've got some feuds lined up here, like Todd Sexton versus Onyx, which I will go ahead and make the main event tonight. Todd Sexton versus Onyx. There is no title on the line. The win will go to Todd Sexton through cheating. Actually, no. Let's make this first one a win for Onyx. Onyx will win cleanly, because in this particular instance, Onyx is working as a face. The aftermath will be Todd Sexton being a dick and fighting him out. That is going to be to, it says continue feud, but really it's going to be to more or less spark the feud. I may make them do interviews here, but I probably will build that feud up a little more slowly. Basically, for this next pay-per-view, I am hoping to have Seth Knight versus Matt Classic ready to boil, and Jarrell Clark versus Scotty Mac ready to boil. That will certainly be there. I may have to start ramping up Seth Knight versus Matt Classic here, but I can do that. Also, let's go ahead and have the Moxie family and Fast and Furious wrestle a match. Nope. 2 versus 2. Tag match. Will be Louis Moxie and Robbie Moxie versus Memphis and Michael Reigns. Belts are going to be on the line. The winner is going to be Michael Reigns, and the loser is going to be Louis. It's loser Louis. It is going to be a clean finish, and the aftermath is going to be the Moxie family getting revenge. And that is to start a feud between these two teams. There we go. Pretty much from here after then, I'll be able to just have members of the Moxie family and members of Fast and Furious wrestle each other in singles matches to, the end of time as a way to promote these in terms of matches. So that's fun. Alright, it's time for another match. One-on-one styles this time. It is again going to be the two of them facing off. The two of them being Seb Knight and Matt Classic. There is no title on the line. Sebastian Knight will win by cheating because he is a ne'er-do-well. And Sebastian Knight. Let's have Sebastian Knight run away. Because he's a Dingus McGee. That's right, I said it was a Dingus McGee. Wait, Seb Knight, I did it again. I set up a match between Sebastian Knight when I meant to set it up with Seth Knight. Seth Knight, there you go. So easy to do in these menus, just roll through quickly. Seth Knight by cheating again. And then he runs away. It's very similar to what happened at the big event, but not as many people know about that because it was a dark match. So it was not actually recorded for posterity. Now, let's have Scotty Mac just have a good match against somebody. Dysfunction, for example. Dysfunction versus Scotty Mac. No title on the line. This is going to be a win for Dysfunction, surprisingly. But it's going to be because of the interference of Jarrell Clark. Because Jarrell Clark started this mess. He's like, look, man. You're going to keep interfering in my life? That's what's going to happen. So Jarrell Clark here being the one to essentially say, no, I beat you at the pay-per-view, but it's not over. I want to dismantle you, Scotty Mac. I want to ruin you for all time. You teen idol, if I remember correctly. Anyhow, let's go ahead and start with an angle. Start with an authority angle. One versus one tonight. It's going to be Enigma announcing Todd Sexton versus Onyx. Slam. And then up here we are going to have not an interview, an angle. There we go, angle dance. This is going to be another authority angle. A one-on-one for the next big event. Enigma is going to be announcing that sure enough, once again, Scotty Mac is going to get another shot at Jarrell Clark if Jarrell Clark is just going to be continuing to mess with him that way. Now then. Let's have an interview. Single worker with manager. Phil Woods with Jarrell Clark. Phil Woods with Jarrell Clark. There we go. Targeting Scotty Mac as part of their feud. Here we are going to have an interview segment. Tag team with manager is going to be Miss Vanessa with the Rainses. And they are going to be talking about Robbie and Louie here. Continuing that feud. And let's have we're going to have to start having these interviews start taking place. Single worker with manager. Miss Vanessa with Matt Classic. Targeting Seth Knight. Oh, Bina celebrating. She was making woo sounds and I thought she was yawning. Continue that feud. And let me just double check something here. As I recall, yep, Seth Knight, he's got, what, a pretty decent charisma score. Yeah, I was planning on having him single worker, Seth Knight. This will not be a strong segment, but I'm willing to sacrifice that to build this guy up. Oh, never mind. Bean actually is yawning. She's yawning and making celebratory whoops at the same time. Alright. There we go, Matt Classic. There's the guy. And that is for their feud. And then let's have Onyx here cut a promo. Actually, no. Let's go back. Let's see. Miss Vanessa. We do need one more Miss Vanessa segment because she has to stand up for Scotty Mac. In the face of Jarrell Clark's meanness. There we go. Now let's start this show. Enigma gained overness. Todd Sexton and Onyx fighting later. Seth Knight and Matt Classic put on a good match. The crowd is tepid on it. That seems to happen with them. Phil Woods and Jarrell Clark segment. Miss Vanessa putting on another A+ interview. 94%, which I guess is actually just an A, but that's okay. Dysfunction versus Scotty Mac. They put together a pretty good match. Dysfunction gained overness because I guess he's been out of the limelight for a while. Miss Vanessa putting on a B+ performance here, let's say. More solid B. And Seth Knight, again, that's not too bad, actually. 64% for a guy who's relatively unknown in this little league here. I'm okay with him doing a 64% interview while he's at 20-some overness, because that means once he actually starts getting to where his talent will take him, fans will be eating it up. VCW tag titles have gained an image because the Moxie family and Fast and Furious put together a decent enough match. Miss Vanessa, A-. Scotty Mac, good times. Enigma and Jarrell Clark and all that announcement. Scotty Mac, that's a B- segment. And Onyx versus Todd Sexton. Not a great match, really. It's an okay match. It's a good match. I don't mean to... The crowd was more into it than the match was actually good. Todd Sexton hit Game Breaker. Alright. So let's finish. Finish. Hey, and it is April Fool's Day. Seth Knight just turned 31, and Cedric Strong just turned 24. Seth Knight and Matt Classic worked pretty well together due to their similar styles. Yeah, they're having a great feud. Michael Range is losing morale because I'm not pushing him enough. Got a 4-1 rating. NWAW got a rating. World Japan have announced this year's roster of touring workers. Staff member Wiley Cuthill has retired. Was that a Willie Cuthill? Was that somebody? Neil Holiday. Undertaker has announced that he will retire. Yeah. He managed to hold out a good long while. It's 2020. Lazarus wants more money, so does Takamura, so does Stryker. David Schultz has left the staff of SNWR. Jerichoholics Anonymous have ended their sponsorship deal with ROH. Security, Maverick Materials, Unplugged Stereos, Head-to-Head Wrestling. We made $336,000 off of merchandise. But did we make money? $641,649, so not a lot, really. Okay, last month we profited $604,000, I should say. So yeah, we did well. We're clearing money. Our ticket sales are up a little bit. Our sponsorship money is up a little bit. And our merchandise sales are up. And our advertising budget is the same. Merchandise, yeah, we're still doing well. Our staff costs are up, and so are our worker costs. $350,000. Wow. Let's talk to Sophie here. Industry is headed towards a boom period. Any strikers act starting to go stale, but again, nobody cares. Doc Dean should be the focus of the show, eh? Alright. $219. Well, let's see here. We could at least get to 30 grand, but let's see. How much did we actually profit? 336,000. So let's change it to 320. There you go. Yeah. Let's see. We are reasonable. We have been gaining in public image every month for a while now. Currently, we're a financially solid company. Last month was disappointing as we lost money. Overall, I'd say you're doing quite well. Oh, I guess technically we lost money because I sank money into improving the training camp. Right. Also, let's take a look real quick at the world of sponsors. So yeah. Animals, lectures, Diamond Dave's, 260. So, who is interested right now? Who is interested that would pay at least $260,000? Chase Agency, possibly. 355. What is the maximum we could get from sponsors right now? We seem to have broken into a new strata here. The end of December 2000 and such. And there was nothing really important here, right? Yeah. Well, I could open a development territory, although I forget what all ends up being involved in the maintenance of those. I forget if... Let's go into finance. Production cost, merchandise cost, advertising cost. Doesn't mention anything. You know what? I don't need one yet. And I don't... Yeah, like basically I would like to, if I can, have a development territory ready before my first crop of training camp graduates come out, because basically the sort of ladder of success that you're supposed to do with any of these guys is you get them out of your training camp and then put them in development so that then they are at their maximum potential before you're trying to get them over in VCW. And of course, if you start getting them over in VCW before they're at their maximum potential, it's going to be much harder to convince them that they need to go to development so they can reach that maximum potential. If they're like, no way, man, I'm doing fine, I'm the greatest superstar ever, and you tell them like, yeah, you could be better, they'd be like, no way, man, fuck you. Oh man, they're using terrible language too, those crazy guys. They're crazy guys. Anyway, yeah, maybe I'll think about that a little bit and reach a decision some other time. But for right now, this is Bilbo the Vulture. We are regional. We are above 52%, which I believe means, well, yeah, let's go to the finance department. No, that's Sophie's not gonna. Nobody's gonna tell us the maximum we can get right now. You sons of guys. You sons of guys. Yeah, well, I mean, sons of guys and women. Gotta have a little of all of it. Anyways, this is Boba the Vulture. This has been Let's Play Extreme Warfare Revenge. I want to thank you guys very much for watching, and when we come back next time, other things will probably happen. Bye for now.